Have you ever watched a pro tennis match and just wondered, how do they do that? What really separates the good players from the legends? Well, it's not just about hitting a blistering forehand. Today, we're diving into the hidden game, the stuff that happens between the shots. And I promise, it's going to change the way you see tennis forever. So let me ask you a question right off the bat. What do you think is the single most important movement a player can make on the court? Just picture it in your head.
Is it this? You know, that incredible, explosive, point-winning shot that gets all the applause and makes every highlight reel? It's a solid choice for sure, but it's really only half the story.
Because what if the real magic move is this one? The quiet, almost invisible reset. That quick recovery a player makes the second after they hit the ball, getting ready for whatever is coming next.
And that's the big idea we're digging into. The real chess match on a tennis court is won in those split seconds when a player isn't hitting the ball. It's all about the setup. It's about what happens in between.
So how in the world do the pros manage this constant high-speed dance? Well, it turns out they're running a kind of program in their head, a mental and physical operating system for movement. We can call it the 4R performance cycle.
And listen, this is not just about scrambling around the court and hoping for the best. No way. This is a structured, repeatable system that top players use to make sure they're in the right place at the right time again and again and again. It's all about efficiency. Okay, so this right here is our roadmap. This is the whole shebang. It all kicks off with step 1, getting to your recovery base. From there, you make a decision by reading your opponent. That read triggers you to cover the court, and then you fine-tune everything with tiny steps to adjust. And only then, after all that work, do you finally execute the skill. You hit the ball. And then, boom, that arrow takes you right back to the beginning, because this cycle never, ever stops.
So let's start where it all begins, with the absolute foundation of every single point, getting to that recovery base. Now, the base isn't just some random spot you run back to. It's super strategic. It could be deep behind the baseline, giving you time to react, or right up at the net to cut off angles. But it always has two jobs. First, defend the spots your opponent is most likely to hit, and second, act as a launch pad for your next attack.
The best way to think about it is like a reset button. After every single shot you hit, no matter how amazing it was, the number one priority is to hit that reset button and get back to this ready, balanced position. Everything else builds from here.
And this just breaks it down so simply. A good base position, it lets you defend and attack. But check out that common mistake, standing too close to the baseline. It seems like a small thing, right? But it kills your reaction time and leaves you totally exposed. That extra foot or two of space is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so you've hit the reset button. You've found your base. What's next? Well, now the game kicks into high gear with a super fast sequence we can call intelligent reaction.
First up is the decision or the read. This is all mental. You're reading your opponent like a book, their shoulder turn, their racket prep, their position. Based on those little clues, you make your first tiny move. Maybe it's a step back because you think a deep ball is coming, or a lean in to pounce on a short one.
Then comes cover, or the response. Right as your opponent hits the ball, you do that little hop you always see, the split step. That tiny jump loads your muscles so you can explode in any direction. This is your big move to get in the general path of the ball.
And finally, the adjust phase, or the react. This, my friends, is where the magic happens. These are the small, choppy, fine-tuning steps that get your body in the absolute perfect spot to hit the ball. This is what makes sure you're balanced and striking the ball right in your sweet spot.
And you can just see that whole flow playing out right here. It's this beautiful fluid chain of events. The initial read on the opponent, the big explosive move to cover the court, and then those critical little adjustments to dial it in perfectly. And all of this happens in less than a second, before the racket even touches the ball.
All right, let's bring it all home. Because hitting the ball isn't the finish line. It's actually just another step in a loop that never, ever ends.
Think about that for a second. The moment you hit your shot, that perfect volley or that screaming backhand, that's not the end of the point. It's the starting gun for the whole cycle to begin all over again. There's no time to stand around and admire your work.
This is just perfect. You can literally see how the energy from the shots follow-through flows right into the first steps of the recovery. The player isn't watching the ball they just hit. They're already in motion, scrambling to set up a new base for whatever's coming next. That seamless flow is what separates the elite from everyone else.
And this quote from the researchers just nails it. The whole point is to value the off-the-ball movements.
In other words, this constant motion isn't just filler work. It is the game. It's the engine that creates every opportunity and dictates who controls the point. So the next time you sit down to watch a tennis match, I want you to try something. Just for a point or two, take your eyes off the ball. Seriously, watch the player's feet, watch their recovery, watch that hidden game happening between the shots. I have a feeling you'll never see tennis the same way again.